Hi, all. Let's have a quick discussion on the LLMs, RAGs, and agentic AI. This will be a simple walkthrough through what we are actually going to see for the whole session. So what we have actually planned is that we will just quickly have a look at what are LLM, RAGs, and agentic AI. And after that, we will have a proper hands-on on how we can actually work on uh, developing or creating a proper LLMs, a RAG, and agentic AI project itself. So we will make our hands dirty. So that's what our plan is all about. So having said that, today's the major buzzword in the field, in the area of AI is all about agentic AI, right? So all of you already know about agents. You would have heard a lot about, how the agents work and everything. However, this is the whole picture when we look at the bigger scenario of agentic AI. Everything starts with AI, which is artificial intelligence, which we talk about, where we can make a machine more intelligent by inducing artificial intelligence onto it. So there comes the reinforcement learning, supervised learning models, unsupervised learning models, natural language processing, and the machine learning, which helps us to build the algorithms that we want to make a particular machine more intelligent. And then comes to the complex layer, which is nothing but the deep learning, where we want the machines to think exactly in the way that a human can think, right? So that is exactly where this deep learning comes in the picture, where we have attention-based models, transformer-based models, large language models. So these are the various, transformers and Hugging Face you would have already heard about, and you would have some of you would have already worked with the Hugging Face as well. So this is the deep learning part where we actually work on some specific problems, and we want our machines to think exactly in the way, or it should mimic a human brain in the easiest way, if we say. And then comes on to the Gen AI part. So Gen AI always thinks like, like generating something, right? An AI which can actually generate something, maybe generating a new content, or, by simply receiving a prompt from the human, right? So when we look at it, we have prompt engineering and we have retrieval-augmented generation, where it is a very famous, algorithm which is actually in place, which is the RAGs, which comes on with the help of, or which works with the help of reinforcement learning from human feedback. And this basically helps us to mitigate the hallucination. So there are so many other applications related to it: the text summarization, video generation, audio generation, music generation. So all those things basically comes under generative AI. And then comes in our agents. So when we talk about agents, agents can think, right? So agents have to actually work in such a way that it can think, it can act, and it can modify, getting the feedback. So it should be working something like an adaptive, progressive program, which can actually adapt based on the comments that we actually give. And finally, when we see about it, we have an agentic AI part, which is basically incorporates the various agents, and there could be multi-agent interactions, like you can calculate the cost in the resource management, long-term autonomy, and goal chaining. And when you look at it, observability and traceability is basically there, and it is basically useful for the marketplaces, contracts, dynamic tooling. And they are the self-improving agents. They are using the self-improving agents. That is very important. And the intent preservation, because intent identification itself is it's a very tedious task. And from the conversations that we have now, we have to preserve and make sure that it is up to the mark, so that we get in sure that what the customer or the client wanted is given back to it all the time, right? So these are the main setup of the big picture, which is actually given by Brij Pandey. The credits is actually given here, and this is what about the whole agentic AI and the whole structure from AI. What is AI to the agentic AI is now, right? So this is the bigger picture for it. Now, when you look at a deeper conversation on generative AI, the generative AI basically uses, or it's the kind of the artificial intelligence that we induce onto the machines to generate the new text, images, and whatever be the data it is, and by training upon a certain kind of data. But when it comes to the agentic AI, we want the agents to perform the task in an autonomous way. We want the agents to perform the task, and it has to pursue all the goals by interacting within the environment itself. So the agent has the capability to perform in the way it wants to create and what a client or what a customer or what we are asking, what a user is asking for. And then what is AI agents? So AI agents basically combine both the generative AI capabilities for generating new contents and also the capabilities of agentic AI where it can autonomously think and perform the task by itself, right? So it combines both the capabilities of generative AI and agentic AI to accomplish complex objectives or complex tasks. So that could be these AI agents will be able to complete the complex task in an easier way, right? So this is how the generative AI and the agentic AI is combined together to create a very intelligent AI agents which can perform very complex tasks. Now, to have an idea about, what is happening around us. So we have already seen that, okay, we have heard a lot about the deep learning, and now the buzzword was for a very long time, it was LLMs, and we cannot even think about living without ChatGPT. Nowadays, even for communicating with somebody in the WhatsApp, we need a validation from ChatGPT to make sure that whatever we are trying to say is right or in the right manner, right? So that are always happening. And for any companies, if you take, you could see that there will be a small implementation of RAG for their companies, because RAG always uses LLMs, prompts, and with the external data which has to be taken from the companies to have or to generate better insights from what they have in the store. And finally, the buzzword nowadays you could hear is always about the agentic AI, because I don't want the repeated task to be done and outsourced and given to external parties. Instead, I can create agents which can actually have the intelligence to think about it and update it and do the adaptive learning out from the task which is there. And it can have multi-agent interactions to convert my day-to-day normal repeated activities done by a agent, right? So this is all about the quantum leap of AI, which you could see. And this is from the famous Rakesh Gohal, and he has actually beautifully represented, how the AI, ML, and deep learning and generative AI and the RAG and AI agents will work in a nutshell. So I felt like this is really good. So to just have an idea about how it actually works, we can just see this. So if you could see that, the machine learning, generative AI, everything is actually part of your AI. And when you look at the machine learning algorithms, clustering, the regression, the model free, so they are all different type of algorithms like supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement learning algorithms, these are different types of algorithms which will help you to learn in a better way. And then comes the deep learning algorithm. Say if you look at a simple image, you can make the neural network learn in the way by adding layers like in human brain and extract the features, and you can identify whether it is a car or not. And generative AI is somewhere where you use the large language models to generate something, and the RAGs basically uses it has a retrieval part and a generation part, and it augments your whole data with the external data which is actually required, and it retrieves everything. And with the help of the user prompt and the system prompt, it can generate some content, some insights, etc. for your company or whatever you're doing for application that you're applying for. And then comes the final AI agents, where you have a system prompt and user prompt, and it has a database and it has a feedback which is going, so that it has a memory and it has the reasoning power, it has the tools, and it does the proper planning, everything, so that you get the right results at the right time. And if there is any error, it goes back and updates your memory and changes the process. And it's kind of an autonomous system which can learn by itself, and it can actually adapt to what is happening and give you the right results at the right time, right? So I hope this is a beautiful depiction for that, for you to understand. So to just have a quick idea about AI, machine learning, etc. So this is the flow that we always follow. So basically, each layer basically is built on top of the other, and it helps us to create a proper generate proper real-time data, and it helps us from the real-time knowledge retrieval and helps us in reasoning and action. So they are intelligent by itself. And so AI makes the machine smart, and ML will help us learn it, and DL basically learns deeply so that we are able to use those kind of information for complex tasks. And NLP basically helps us to understand the language. So even if it is in a natural language or a complex language, the people can communicate. That basically helps us to come out with the right answers, and it generates new answers. The LLMs will help us to generate new answers, and RAGs will basically use the external data to give you the right insights from the data, and agents will take the action. It can reason, and it can help with adapting itself with the new feedbacks. So this is a small example if you could see, and the student can, so just imagine that a student, we can take a day-to-day example of, a student is learning for the examination. So you could say that the student can use ChatGPT or an AI assistant for preparing for the exam. That is just AI. And MLS student, maybe if we can use the past question papers for learning, we could say that it is ML. And DL is like deep understanding. You're feeding all the particular past examination question paper for finding the patterns, and then you are identifying how the question paper could be. You're just going a little bit deeper. And NLP is that, if the question paper is written in English, your AI assistant is able to understand that, okay, it's an English language, and it is able to understand the right meaning based on the grammatical structure, the lexical and the semantic understanding is basically done. And LLMs basically helps us to generate the new questions or new answers so that you can learn by yourself. And the RAGs basically, not only the past question papers, you are adding more textual data, more resources. So you're scraping the data from the internet, you are giving some external information, more external information, so that your answering can be made 100% perfect, and you get the right feedback so that you can improve your answers, and what to actually look at, and how to actually get your answers right. And the agents is basically writing the exams and submitting and planning the next study by itself. So it can actually learn by itself by properly doing a reasoning. It can think, it can understand the mistakes by itself, and it can actually take it up, and it can take it in the right way to improve your whole process of how to make your data more understanding and make your examination more simple, right? So these are the different processes that you could see, and these are the different technologies that are basically available for us to complete the whole process, right? So that's all for the first session. So the next session, so I hope you got an idea about all the different terminologies that is in the AI, and now we will kickstart by taking a small example and making our hands dirty right away. Thank you so much.